Hola Galeras. Welcome to the Painter Files Presents Painter's Breakfast. I'm thinking about just calling it Painter Files Breakfast. It's been a theory I've been having for a little while. Center this more. Here we go. I don't know why it's doing this. It just keeps sliding out. It's probably because it's got clay or something on it. I'm host, my co-host, this guy. I forget what we called him. Yeah, but yeah, it's a good breakfast. I hope you're doing well. I'm excited about this. I saw this online a couple of days ago, and it's white beans with garlic and onion and spices. With hummus, jalapenos, because I threw that in, and some veggie sausage. It's very easy to make, but it's very fulfilling actually. This is so good. Like, this might become my new favorite thing to make. Mm. Damn, it's good. I don't know how much I can tilt on this before I drop it. It's close. It's close. We all saw it. All saw it. Yeah. Life is good, man. Life is good. I hope you are doing well today, as I assume you are. You're wonderful. So you deserve a good day, as it were. So I have been debating whether or not I was going to talk about the verdict. And the more I thought about it, the more there's no reason I'm not. So, former President of the United States, Donald Trump, was convicted of 34 counts of trying to hide, basically fraud, for all intents and purposes. Sparkly water. A lot of people came forward. A lot of people put evidence forward. He was found guilty by a group of his peers, which he picked out. He and his defense team picked out. So there's that. Yeah. I mean, I feel good about it. I don't know about you, but I feel good about it. I have considered that man to be an asshole a racist asshole for a very long time. So I am not surprised he got caught up, as we say. And that is what it is. That's basically pretty much all I have to say about it. Alright, so funny story. I was walking in the grocery store, getting all of this. I get my food, I pay for it, I'm leaving, I get to the parking lot. Randomly, this lady in kente cloth walks up to me. For those who don't know what kente cloth is, because I'm sure there's at least one of you, it's more kind of a tribal African like print, like a dinke and stuff like that, are oftentimes ones that people. Samras, que pasa? So it's a kente cloth. It's like a wrap, basically, a pattern. A lot of people who feel in touch come from Africa, but also a lot of African Americans who feel very much in touch with their roots are often known to wear kente cloth or I'm trying to think what the shirts are called. I can't remember at this moment. You've all seen kind of a very they've got like the kufis, they've got the stuff. So this lady comes up to me, goes, "Hey, come here real quick," and I go, the fuck's going on? Um, and then she proceeds to tell me how Lenny Kravitz is weird and nobody likes my music. I just laughed. I was like, I don't really have a comeback for that. I lack a comeback for that. I was like, oh wow, okay. I haven't been put in that box for a while, so that's kind of strange. And I just shook my head. And she goes, I don't know how you expect anybody to kiss you with all that stuff in your face. And I just went, okay. Bye now. And just walk off. But it was the craziest thing. Like, I haven't really. I used to get that a lot. I'm in Maryland now, for those who don't know. I didn't really get that in Maryland for a long time. North Carolina. Mm. They have a very strict idea of what they think black people are from all over the world. Like, we have to fit into a very, like, 1992, like, 1992 BET Music Awards look, basically. We can't enjoy anything other than, Tupac and Keith Sweat, I will not be explaining Keith Sweat to you. I figure all of you know who Pac is, so there's no need for me to go into that. But it was just interesting because I haven't really run across that in a really long time. So it's just kind of funny. It made me laugh more than anything. I think there was definitely a time when I would have got up in my feelings about it, but now it's just kind of funny. I'm just like, you look crazy. She had like her bonnet on, her kente cloth, and she was getting into her car in a handicapped spot. And she just came off a little too extra, so to speak. So I just let it go. I mean, what would be the purpose of lashing out at someone who, for some reason, felt the urge to heckle you about someone who they thought you looked like? Side note, I've heard Lenny Kravitz's new album. It just came out a couple weeks ago. It's good. I like it. I mean, it's Lenny, There's a certain type of music that Lenny makes, and like if you like Lenny's music, you like Lenny's music. I did get a lot of comments recently. I've gotten a lot of like comparisons to him in the last couple of weeks, actually. He did a video last month called TK421. Still not sure what the hell that represents. And he's naked in it, and he's jamming out. And for some reason, that has turned into people comparing me to Lenny Kravitz. I thought I was going to get harassed because I'm wearing a red shirt. And somebody's going to ask me if I worked for Target or something. That was what I was expecting to hear. I was not expecting to hear the other part. But hey man, if you get compared to one of the sexiest men alive, you're not doing bad, I feel like he won Sexiest Man Alive at least once. If not, I mean, he's definitely been voted for it many times over. So I'll take it. When I was a little kid, I used to love Lenny Kravitz. I thought he was like the most amazing person I'd ever seen. In a lot of ways, I even see kind of similarities. But it's just interesting. It's kind of like Basquiat. Like, we're we're light-skinned guys with dreadlocks. You know, I think that's kind of where most people get it from. I think with Lenny, we've got piercings and tattoos, dreadlocks, etc. I won't even say that at one point in time in my life, when I was younger, that I wasn't idolizing and trying to be like Lenny Kravitz. But I was never really particularly great with playing music. I have, what's the word? Like osteoporosis a little bit. Most painters do. So the stretching of my fingers is kind of painful. And yes, that does interfere sometimes with painting also, but not as much as it would if I were playing guitar or something like that, or piano. There's something amazing about how they stretch their fingers in the ways that they do. I always had like a tremendous amount of respect for them. So that. Last night, Alec and I watched Godzilla -1. It is on Netflix, for those who want to see it. It was good. I don't know if it deserves all the accolades it got, though. People are like, it's the best Godzilla movie ever in the history of whatever. It's a very like good throwback to when Godzilla movies came out when I was a kid. I'll agree with that. It's definitely a good throwback. As far as just how he's presented, how he acts. Godzilla to me has always reminded me of like a mischievous house cat in a way. He shows up at your town, he just kind of leans on stuff, whacks things, keeps going. Like that to me has always felt like Godzilla. I did like the factor that they acknowledged the factor directly in the movie that Godzilla, because of the 2 atomic bombs that were dropped on Japan during World War II, at the end of World War II, Godzilla was awakened or created. It's never quite clear whether. I feel like awakened is more the case because, like, as time has gone by, they've given so much more folklore to Godzilla that he existed back in the time of like Atlantis and all that stuff, the Titans, and I'm a big Godzilla fan, so I won't go too deep into it. For those who don't know, I love this man. No, I love Godzilla. Godzilla's always made me laugh. He's such a weird, funny character with all his weird destructions and like little comical things they've done with Godzilla throughout the years that I just enjoy Godzilla a lot. I always have. I did one painting once. I even made a print about it, but I'm yet to have like a show this year, so I haven't really sold any, but it's okay. I think a lot of times the problem that a lot of artists have, particularly younger artists who are like getting established, younger is not an age thing, it's more how long you've been doing art, and the ways in which you do it. But I think a lot of kind of younger artists oftentimes equate themselves with the sales they make. And I don't find that to be necessary anymore in my career. I've definitely sold quite a bit of artwork, but when I think of like the best work I've made, it's not that it sold or didn't sell, it was how I walked away from it, how I felt. And, you know, I felt pretty good about a lot of this art. The last couple of years have felt just very honest to myself in the art that I make. And I feel like it's been reflective in the ways that I continue to make work. Like I used to, in my I guess college years, I would say my or post college years, my technique was take a chair, prime a canvas, I'm doing it as pull out a chair, sit it down, sit there, stare at a canvas, prime a canvas, maybe eventually get to the point where I was doing like kind of a background, a backdrop to it. That was kind of crazy. And then come back to the chair, sit there, and just stare at the painting for hours, waiting to feel inspired. And that was deep, unsettling madness. I don't recommend that for most people. Cool. Hey, how's it going? Or Jilly. I'm Coach Jilly. I don't know. Hey, how's it going? And I think for a lot of artists, like, that's a pretty normal practice. You sit in front of a blank canvas, you wait for something to come, you're looking through books or web pages or whatever, and trying to wait for inspiration to hit you. And as the years have gone by, like I've figured out other techniques rather than just staring at blank canvases all the time, because it was definitely a large part and portion of my experience being an artist for a while was to do that. You know, was to expect my inspiration to come to me. And now oftentimes I feel like my thought process is I'm going to make an abstract art. I'm going to start drawing textures. I'm going to start doing these things. And it's essentially like stretching before a big race in a lot of ways for me. Like I know I'm going to run, but I don't want to cramp up halfway through. I think the process of painting a lot of times is like a lot of patience and stuff like that. Like you have to be willing to let the paint dry. It can be hours depending on what you're using. So you have to kind of figure out how to plan and move around parts of the painting and not interact with the parts that you don't want to move and change while you're working on other things. And it's just interesting. It's an interesting kind of, to find the balance between that is very different than how I originally kind of came about it. Because these would go on for hours, or just sit there and wait. Would watch the sun tick by in the shadows, just trying to like get things going, feeling like I was going crazy, you know? I mean, it definitely worked out. Those pieces were great, but I felt so exhausted by them at the same time. Now when I finish a piece, I take like a little bit of time off between paintings, and then I just work on the next painting. Like I don't feel beaten up anymore. I just feel like I was just in a fight the whole time. It's just interesting. My health stuff's going well. I finally got some new sensors. I gotta put one on. I don't have any on right now. I'm naked. But I feel good. My levels aren't elevated crazily. I've learned kind of how to balance more my meals. So like for this, the beans are a lot of protein. The hummus is a lot of protein. The sausage, the veggie sausage, they're okay for you. They're not great, but they're okay for you. And then the bread is like really seedy brown bread, very low carbs. So, all in all, onions are good for you. All that stuff's good for you. So, it's good. I feel good. All right. Well, I finished my food. I don't have anything else to say. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you next week. I'm working on a new set, like a actual brand new set. I'm really excited to share it with you soon. All right. Okay. Oof. Excuse me. Painter out. Ciao. Bye. There we go. Is that?